third and final presentation of the Antichrist. This is yours truly, the literati. All I do is for the edification of the Most High and for the restoration of His kingdom. And remember, all is truth. There can only be truth. Anything else is a distraction. Do not be distracted. So the information in part 3 builds on the first two parts. I hope you watch them because I won't go into details. And the way I present this third part is based on the fact that you already have knowledge from the first two parts, okay? And it's going to be a hodgepodge of issues here or topics, but they all tie into the Antichrist. And also in this third section is where I have the lessons at the end of the video. So first, let's look at MAGA. MAGA is a member of the priestly caste among the Sauras of India. Does that sound like Sauros from the pterosaur, the pterosaur, which is a flying reptile, like we saw, the pterosaur. So MAGA is a member of the priestly caste among the Sauras of India. Sauros or Saurus, vowels are interchangeable. Revelation 13:1 says, "And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns. Okay, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy." Okay, MAGA, back to Make America Great Again. This is the acronym. I don't know how true this is. I have never studied this. I haven't had any revelation. So what I'm posting about these 3 screens is just stuff I found on the web. If somebody has more information, please email me. Okay, still on MAGA. MAGAs. It's a member of a hereditary priestly class among the ancient Medes and Persians, and we've seen those a lot in the first 2 sections of this presentation. It's also one of the traditionally 3 wise men from the East paying homage to the infant Jesus. I'll do a video on this sometime later. A Magus is a magician, is a sorcerer, is a necromancer, is a witch. I hope you have watched witchcraft. It's a video on this channel, one of the anchor videos. Magus is a person skilled in using supernatural forces, and sorcerer, wizard, mage, witch, enchanter. Okay, those are the synonyms. Now I'm going to try and break down that acronym, MAGA. So vowels are eliminated because they are interchangeable. This is a framework of the word MG. M is the 13th letter, G is the 7th letter. And I'm using what was revealed to me when I did the phi sign, I think in part 2. So I'm using that information that was revealed to me to do this. I do not practice these numbers or do things with numbers. So using the first and last, so 13 and 77, we get 1 7, that's 17, that's Q. Okay, and then if we reduce this 13, 7, we get 1 plus 3 is 4, so we get 47 again. I hope you watched part 2 so that you can know the significance of that number. this character's parents, his mom's name that's the first name. But people I talk about this, I just put this excerpt here to show that it says the same passage also states that 7 demons had been driven out of her. That 7 number, the legion, the 7. Okay. Now let's look at omega. It sounds like maga. It's the final letter in the Greek alphabet. It's often used to denote the last, the end, or the ultimate limit of a set. Okay, in contrast to alpha, which is the first letter. So let's look at omega. It's the 24th and final letter. And I showed you that 24. Okay, 4, 6, the year he was born is 4 times 6, that's 24. And let's look at this. In 2024, we're going to have the next presidential elections. And this will be the 60th quadrennial. Quadrennial means 4. So here we have 60 times 4 again, we get the 2, 4. And the 2, 4. Okay. And this, the meanings of omega. So in eschatology, the symbol for the end of everything. In molecular biology, it's used to signify a genetic construct introduced by a 2-point crossover. And I will talk about this shortly. It's the personal symbol for death. A character from the series Doctor Who called Omega, believed to be one of the creators of the Time Lords of Gallifrey. And then it's the symbol for the highest power level of C, PSI, that's pressure. And I think PSI is the 23rd Greek alphabet, but it's pronounced C. So you see how that ties in again with the man of sin. And if you see how that, the grapheme of that letter, what it looks like the 21st Hebrew alphabet. So again, that ties this character back to the 21st Hebrew alphabet and Greek. And yeah, this C, the way it sounds, I know that's a bit confusing, but let me discuss this 2-point crossover. It ties in with the people who's who. What's a crossover? Let's say the algorithm. In genetic algorithms and evolutionary computation, crossover, also called recombination, is a genetic operator used to combine the genetic information of 2 parents to generate new offspring. It is one way to stochastically generate. Stochastical is like statistically, not natural. Generate new solutions from an existing population, and is analogous to the crossover that happens during sexual reproduction in biology. It's analogous, which means it's not sexual reproduction, it's just analogous to that. It's an imitation, it's a mimicry. Okay? Solutions can also be generated by cloning an existing solution, which is analogous to asexual reproduction. Newly generated solutions are typically mutated before being added to the population. You can't make this stuff up. Please watch People Who's Who, which is one of the anchor videos, okay, on this channel. Now, I want to play this clip and how he's tapping into that maga or omega energy with his hands. He talks with his hands mostly. So, let's see. That's omega. That's omega. He's making the omega sign with his hands, not the second one, but the first one. Let's see again. Omega, omega. He's drawing the omega sign. One more time. I wish I could slow it down. Round and then out. Okay? That's what he's doing. So this, the last letter of the Greek alphabet, this, transliteration is O, omega. In the New Testament, omega is always used of the glorified Christ. And these are the scriptures, Revelation 1:8 and 21, 6:22, 1:8, 21, 6, 22, 13, referring to his absolute limitlessness to meet all the needs of finite, limited people, okay? I'm going through fast. Okay, I'll go back to Batman because I didn't exhaust it fully. It's just too much information, as you can tell. He claims to be Batman, and Newsmax has bizarrely compared him to Batman. He says that he is, and they say he might be right. I won't go through that right now. What is the definition? I forgot to include this when I was in part 2 of this. I totally forgot this. So that's an orderly of a British military officer. Okay, a Batman is an orderly of a British military officer. And in cornet, horn, this is a synonym for horn, little horn. The second definition, the one-time 5th grade of commissioned officer in a British cavalry troop who carried the standard. Remember when I talked about that? I totally forgot to include this, but now you see how it connects. And he went to military school, so he is a military person by pedigree of education. He never served, but he is a military person, okay? I wanted to show you that. An orderly of a British military officer, and cornet, which is synonymous with horn, as little horn, okay? The one-time 5th grade of commissioned officer in a British cavalry, okay? Batman is also a geographical name. It's a town in southeastern Turkey, and it lies on 540 meters plateau. He was the 45th president, and there's a lot of other information here. You have the liberty to research and present it to us actually. So where did the Batman River get its name? There's a river near the confluence. Okay, this Batman lies on a plateau near the confluence of the Batman River and the Tigris, important rivers, okay? So the question is, how did it get its name? The word is defined in plenty of English dictionaries not as a caped crusader with a cool utility belt, but a Turkish unit equal to 16.96 pounds. So this number is significant. I don't know for what, but I know it is. But it already looks like 666, with our reflections and translations and all that. So it's 1666. So it means it's 666 only one time. I don't know. I'm just making that up. I'm not sure. But most commentators believe that the Batman River actually took its name as a shortening of Bati Raman, a nearby mountain. Again, if you research this, which I haven't done, it probably has a significance to this character. Okay, an anagram for Batman is bantam. Okay, and we have a bantam, any small variety of fowl, usually of chicken or duck. The word Bantam derives from the name of the seaport city of Bantam in western Java, Indonesia. And this man, trying to get this role, has played it every which way, and we see that his business partner in Indonesia exhumed graves in West Java to build a resort. So his name is here, because his partner exhumed graves in West Java to build a resort, and here we see the word Bantam derived from the name of the seaport city of Bantam in western Java. Why not eastern? Why not northern? Why do they have to say western Java? Why couldn't they just say Java? you know. So that ties him to, that's how he's tied to that. So he's just agitating for this energy in every which way, okay? Now let's go back to bats. We've established that all about bats, okay? They are natural reservoir for a large number of zoonotic pathogens. That has to do with diseases transmitted from animals to man in natural conditions, including rabies, histoplasmosis, the Nipah and Hendra viruses, and possibly the Ebola virus. What's histoplasmosis? That's a common diagnosis, yeah? It's a fungal disease which affects primarily the lungs, and it's fatal if untreated. It's common in AIDS patients due to their compromised immunity. And it's caused by the Histoplasma capsulatum and is found in soil associated with decaying bat guano, that's bat poop, or bird droppings. Okay. Bats, rodents, and primates all harbor significant zoonotic viruses, these ones. And let's see more. Bats are implicated in the emergence of severe acute respiratory syndrome in China, since they serve as natural hosts for coronaviruses. Several from a single cave in Yunnan, one of which developed into SARS virus. However, they neither cause nor spread COVID-19. Okay, this is from Wikipedia. I hope they won't shut this down because I said those words. Again, bat, the Batman, the bat in baseball. It has been speculated that megabats may be the natural reservoir for Ebola virus. Eating fruit bats is also linked to a neurological disease called Litko-Bodig disease. And that disease is ALS, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, Parkinson's, dementia. So it's ALS-PD disease. So these are vectors of disease, right? Bats are eaten by people in parts of some Asian, African, Pacific Rim countries and cultures, including China, Vietnam, Seychelles, and Philippines, Indonesia, Palau, Thailand, and Guam. In the Torah and in the Bible, the book of Leviticus, chapter 11, verses 13 to 19, forbids consumption of bat. It says, "This you shall detest among the birds. They shall not be eaten. They are an abomination." Have you watched People Who Is Who? Abomination are not only those who appear as human beings, but even insects, animals, plants, all that tinkering and tonkering. And by the way, in Luya, amaka, like maga, maka, is tinkering and tonkering. Okay? Amaka, maka, is tinkering and tonkering like this. And then you get all these abominations that we are forbidden to consume. Would you eat something that looks like this? Okay, next I'm going to look at more of his outlandish blasphemous claims. We saw this, where he claims that he's the Messiah. He claims that he will find the Ark of the Covenant and Holy Grail in the first 100 days. You know, they never talked about this, but I suspect something happened within the first 100 days, but they just didn't talk about it. Here, this is what he did, recognizing Jerusalem as the Israeli capital, US embassy transfer. So he's playing that role, okay? Kind of trying to rebuild the temple. And Solomon was a monarch of ancient Israel and the son and successor of David, according to the Hebrew Bible and the Old Testament. He is described as having been the penultimate ruler of an amalgamated Israel and Judah. What do I want to show you here? Solomon built the first temple in Jerusalem, dedicating the temple to Yahweh, or God in Judaism. In a different topic, discussion maybe, is Yahweh a name or a title? Okay. Solomon is portrayed as wealthy, wise, and powerful, and as one of the 48, that number is important, Jewish prophets. So this is just to show that this fella, his blasphemy is all over the place. Okay. He even say that he could shoot somebody and he wouldn't lose any voters. Okay. He says that he has blanket immunity if he shoots someone on 5th Avenue. Okay. Okay, what is next? Oh, this is interesting. Irony is rolling or lolling, like laughing out loud, in a grave somewhere, as a channel has claimed Trump is in fact Pakistani. Neo News, an Urdu news channel, reported that the president-elect is in fact an orphan who was adopted by the Trump family after losing both his parents in a car accident. This might seem indulgent, but just stay with me and it will make sense. So there's this article, is Pakistani. I don't want to say his name. Is he Pakistani? According to the internet sleuths, yes, he is. Okay. Was he born in Pakistan? Let's see what this article says. He was born Dawood Ibrahim Khan in Pakistan. And he was born in a Muslim family in Shawal Valley on June 14, 1946. And his parents, I think, died in a car accident, and they even have that certificate of birth. Okay, now let's go to this. This is Batman. We already connected him to Bat, so I don't need to explain why I'm using this example. And even though this, I think, is a DC Comics, anything they do, like I've told you before, is based on something that's in reality. We cannot create from without. Or at least they cannot create from without. Especially they cannot. They can only mock and mimic. Okay? And it says, one of the most iconic fictional characters in the world, Batman, has dedicated his life to an endless crusade, a war on all criminals in the name of his murdered parents, who were taken from him when he was just a child. Since that tragic night, he has trained his body and mind to near physical perfection to be a self-made superhero. Okay? So, warn criminals in the name of his murdered parents who were taken from him when he was just a child. Since that tragic night. And this we just saw here, his, let's see if I can get to it. He was born in Pakistan and, come on, scroll up. His parents, where is that? His parents were killed in a car accident, so maybe were they murdered, And so this is based on his story. And like I tell you, they've been auditioning for a long time, these people, So we're just catching up now, but they've been doing it since before they were born or created. They're not a species, they have specifications, okay? And here I just want to show that there is a Hymenoptera formicidae, the ant from Pakistan, okay? Preliminary contributions toward a revision of the ant genus Temanthorax Meyer, which is Hymenoptera formicidae from Pakistan. So what I'm saying is that those things are even there, kind of trying to legitimize my argument here. Okay, the same thing, Vespidae or Hymenoptera of the Potwa region of Punjab, Pakistan. I didn't do too much research about where all this happened to him, but I'm wondering whether it's the same region I have highlighted here. That would be interesting in the list. Again, what's a pterosaur? It's a reptile. Okay. And then we have a pterodon. Terra means earth or land. And then Dawn, that's his name, you know. The first 3 letters of his name is Dawn. So pterodon is a genus of pterosaur that included some of the largest non-flying reptiles. They lived during the late Cretaceous geological period of North America in present-day Kansas. Kansas. Most important, his predecessor had a link to Kansas. I have a link to Kansas. Like I'm telling you, these coincidences that are happening with my life as I talk about this information must be from the Holy Spirit. You know, I was in Kansas one time, and this guy who was with me, he said, "Oh, have you seen this sign?" It was a billboard sign, a big billboard sign. He says, come, I got to show you. And you know what it says? From Kenya to Kansas. You can't make this up. From Kenya to Kansas. You cannot make this up, you know? And his predecessor has this Kansas link. We've seen how Kenya is connected in this stuff a lot. I was there, you know? And, you know, for the Kenyans there, you know, Wangari Maathai has this Kansas link. Holy Spirit, guide me and protect me. Because I'm being sent to these areas to pick up this truth and bring it out to all of us. Okay? Okay, the fragmentary fossils assigned to the pterodon have also been discovered in Sweden. What is so funny, I have family members who were there for a short time. Man, this is interesting to me. Okay, the most distinctive characteristics of the pterodon is its cranial crest. Okay. Male pterodon, the oldest species of the two described to date, Gostenbergia, ghost, just keep this word in mind because we'll run into it later. But I'm going to talk about the cranial crest. Okay. The antenna is a crest. Okay. This is from that movie Aliens. This is a fossil of a pterodon, I think. Then I want you to look at these crowns. I'm just starting to wonder, when did we get the alien pharaohs? You know? When did we get them? Is it with Akhenaten or before that? And when I showed in People Who's Who some of those images out there. Okay, skull and beak, still talking about the pterodon. The unique form of the beak in this specimen led this scientist in quotation marks to assign it to a distinct genus, Don Draco, like draconian, like dragon, in 2010. So even the dates they choose are quite significant. Remember that event 201? And when this character says, I'm genius, I am the most genius person, ooh, I'm just genius, people love me, this is what he means. This is too funny. He doesn't mean that he's smart. He's saying he's a genius or a genie, as you shall see later. Draco, Don Draco. So this spelling of Don, spoken word is superior to written words, is Don Draco. He's a genius. Don is a genius. And we saw here about the genie. Where is it? I hope I can, yeah, ghost, the genie. Okay, I'm sure it's making sense. So now let's look at the Draco constellation. Draco is one of the largest constellations in the sky, located in the northern celestial hemisphere. The constellation represents Ladon. His name is, like I showed in part 2, DNL, LDN. Okay? The constellation represents Ladon, which is him, the dragon that guarded the gardens of the Hesperides in the Greek mythology. The name Draco means the dragon. I hope you're making the connections, because I'm just flying through. Because I'm assuming you've watched the first 2 videos in this series. Batten Turban Australis Phi Draconis or P Draconis has the stellar classification. It's about 300 light years. It has an apparent magnitude of 424, again, these numbers. But the bat is here. The bat is here backwards, but again, the turban, does that link him to Pakistan? Okay, this is quite long. I don't know if I'll let it play all through, because it repeats some of the information I just showed you. Let's but I will have the link. I hope I'll remember to put the link down in the description box below. Sorry. It's the 8th largest constellation in the night sky. Let's see what else. It contains 17 formally named stars. We have the 17 again. Nine stars known to the planets. Messiah or Messiah. Yes, 17 formally named stars. So all these articles have information for us if we just pay attention. Like I said, it's the preponderance of evidence that we need. Okay. This is taking longer than I thought. Let's see. I have Batten Turban Borealis. Australis, that is the one we just saw on the previous screen. Let's see. It has an unresolvable binary star. Let's see. What else does it say down here? Theta Draconis, Omicron Draconis. 42 Draconis, we have the 2-4 again. 26 Draconis, that's a significant number they're playing with. BY Draconis, it's not bi, it's BY. What does that mean? Okay, I think that's almost the end of the Draco Dwarf Galaxy. I will leave the link in the description box below so that you can take your time and review it and see what connections you make from it. Okay, I don't think there's anything else I have there. Okay, what's a Draco? It's a lawgiver. The word draconian has come to mean unforgiving rules or laws. And I have to explain something here about unforgiving. Unforgiving could mean, like, let's say for example you go to a register at a store and you have to, they have a lot of those now where you check yourself out, you know, you scan the items, there's no attendant, there's no human being, it's a robotic system. So you go there and you scan your stuff and you make a mistake. That inability of that machine or robot to correct that mistake is unforgiving. I could describe it as unforgiving. So I'm saying this to tell you that right now they're introducing the RoboCops. You cannot reason with these machines. And there are people like that already who are synthetic, you know, the human guys. They are unforgiving in the sense that they cannot reason with you and come to an agreement. It's an unforgiving system. Like the sun is so hot, it's unforgiving. You can't go back and forth with the sun. I'm always hot at 1 p.m. and at that time it's unforgiving. Or the rain, it's flooding, it's unforgiving in that sense, okay? So I think that's what they mean. They're going to implement systems that are unforgiving, they're non-human, they're non-sentient. Draco is a genius, like I said, genius. Genius. I am so genius. Okay, it's a genus of agamid lizards that are sometimes called flying dragons. There are about 42 species. Again, that 2-4 number. Okay, what's Don Draco? I put this here is a controversial genus of pteranodonted pterosaur from the late Cretaceous of North America. It is likely synonymous with the contemporary pteranodid Gostenbergia, ghost again. It was named by this gentleman in 2010. The type species is Don Draco kanzai. The generic name combines the Don deity of the Iroquois with the Latin Draco or dragon. The specific name refers to the Kansas tribe of Kansas. I want to show you, I showed you who Quetzalcoatl is. That's a Draco. Now, this is a deity for this Iroquois, okay, which is a tribe in Kansas. So, their deities are Dracos. That's what I'm trying to show you. And again, we have Kansas here, very important. Okay, Klinefelter syndrome is KS, Kansas is KS, okay. Okay, this is, sorry, where is that? Here. Draco is a genus of agamid lizards. And this says that this is a shape-shifting lizard. Okay, more information on that. Okay, this is that snake poem that I think you need to hear.
Away to work one morning, down the path, along the...
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think it will render properly because of the way I'm recording this, so I'll put the link down before. Okay, next, back to these creatures, they call him here. Again, this I will leave the link, but it says that he is a creature of New York. And creature, it's an animal, a monster, an alien. Okay, we saw that he's a monster, he's a beast, alien, a member of the human race. So, what is human? We have to research this. But what I know is that these creatures take on the identity of the real ones. Okay, so they identify as real when they're not. So human might be the real ones, but these creatures identify as such, so they become a member of that. But I'll have to research more on that and let you guys know. Again, just more about creature. It's an instrument. Like I told you, these are agents. They're being used. One that is the servile, dependent, or tool of another. Okay? Being of anomalous or uncertain aspect or nature. Something created either animate or inanimate, such as a lower animal. Okay? So it's a creature, and why do I have this here? Yeah. We saw in Batman, and we know this. He's from New York. Yeah, and this video that won't play, literally what it says is that, read her lips, Trump is a creature of New York. Trump is a creature of New York. Okay? It sucks that it... So now we've seen bats, and here we have... Study reveals New York City bat population. We've linked him to that already. And this is from Fordham News. Okay? These are two words. Fordham News. And this man that I'm talking about, or this, whatever he is, this guy, originally enrolled at Fordham University in New York City in 1964. 46 is when he was born. So again, before transferring to Pennsylvania, again we see this Fordham. I'm trying to link him to this. It's not by coincidence. This is all planned. They have Fordham News. That's where he went to school, and then New York City bat populations. Okay, just like I'm telling you, he's been auditioning, and according to my research, I think he has done all he can to do, all he knows to do. Okay. Now we have Gotham City, Gotham, Fordham. Okay, Gotham, Fordham. Okay, Gotham City is home of the superhero Batman and his allies. Okay. Gotham City is traditionally depicted as being located in the U.S. state of New Jersey. We know he has a golf course in New Jersey. Gotham's look and atmosphere were primarily influenced by New York City. So this ties him to those two cities already. Then they have other cities here which are significant, but I'm not going to go into that. Okay, Gotham City in New Jersey initially, and then sometimes New York City at night. You know, where the creatures, when it's close to midnight and something evil's lurking in the dark. Yep, that's it. Okay, the occult origins of Gotham are further delved into by Peter Milligan's, which reveals that some of the American founding fathers are involved in summoning a bat demon which becomes trapped beneath old Gotham, or Gotham, but to me it's Gotham town. Its dark influence spreading as Gotham City evolves. Okay. A similar trend is followed in Shadow Pact by Bill, which expands upon Gotham's occult heritage by revealing a being who has slept for 40,000 years beneath the land upon which Gotham City was built. Okay? This guy claims that 19th century Gotham was run by 5 rival gangs until the first masks appeared. Interesting stuff. A map appeared in the New York adventure of Superboy. This series still going on, that showed Smallville within driving distance of both Metropolis and Gotham City. Smallville was relocated to Kansas in post-crisis continuity. Kansas again. Okay. Now, next one, another topic, laconic. What is laconic? Is using or involving the use of minimum of words, concise to the point of seeming rude or mysterious. Lacan, the wound that never heals. Lacan meets Trump. Lacan or Lacan. like laconic. And this you will have to research on your own because I didn't do a very good job of organizing it. It's a lot of work, yeah. So this is talking about this Laconian, and over the course of the last 4 years, this man has abandoned the body of conventional politics and has become like a weird organ, which is magically autonomized, surviving without a body. Remember the ghost? The genie? Okay? He has morphed into what is Lacanian lingo, what in Lacanian lingo is called a partial object, as indivisible, indestructible, and immortal, more precisely undead. Not the sublime spiritual immortality, but the obscene immortality of the living dead. It's close to midnight, okay? Which after every annihilation recomposes itself and clumsily goes off. He does not exist. He insists. He is an entity of pure semblance and a multiplicity of appearances which seem to envelop our central void. Ish, the is. Remember that definition? He has abandoned the body of conventional politics. He's running in 2024 or 2023, 2024. So, he won't have this conventional politics. He's going to be weird, okay? Autonomous, maybe breaking up the US, I don't know. It's interesting, when you read this. Okay, and then 4 years later, when things have turned out as predicted, he has run over the precipice and is refusing to look down because he knows it's over. The socio-political balance sheet, which has grown in the last 4 years in sync with other balance sheets of this era, consists now of 70 million of these orphan rubes. What's a rube? It's something somebody who's unsophisticated, naive, inexperienced. Are those the ectowomps? If you watched People Who's Who, equal the entire population of Germany, who will soon feel again unwanted, undesired, cheated, unable to integrate, and angry. What is now recognized as this guy's America is the undead partial object, the indestructible remainder cut off from the living social body, caught and fossilized inside the gap of reconcilable cultural differences. It represents the site where the Lacanian traumatic real resides, the thing we have been refusing to acknowledge about ourselves, the terrible truth we have to learn to live with. Yeah, read about this guy. Quite interesting. And this is from the Lacanian, but I want you to show you this. He has that phi here. Okay, and this is his middle name, that guy. And we saw I showed you his first and last names, and this is the first letter of his middle name. So this is in essence his name. Okay? If this doesn't make sense, you have to watch that. Part 2. And then I want to show you again, this is part of that Lacanian algebra stuff. I haven't even read all of this. I just saw this real ID, and they're trying to force this real ID on the people in the US. And what happens in the US happens elsewhere in the world. They might use different names like Huduma number or this or that. It's all for the Antichrist, but they're trying to force this real ID. But we, the saints, are stopping that nonsense by praying, fasting, meditating, decreeing, declaring, proclaiming, canceling. And they've pushed it off. They've pushed the implementation off. I am telling you, they use our energy. They use our energy, and we can stop it. Or we can mitigate it. And I know somebody says, but the Bible says it shall not pass. And who wrote the Bible? Tell me who wrote the Bible. See, we don't even know how to read common stuff. How can we claim to know how to read the Bible and know exactly what it's saying? We need to stop this nonsense from coming to pass. Okay? We can do it. We are the children of God. We have the power. Still on that Lacanian, it refers to childhood, a toddler looking in the mirror. Helps them to shape the identity. Again, the mirrors here. Lacan calls the image orthopedic. And we saw that in Klinefelter syndrome, little horn Klinefelter syndrome, they have motor incapacity. Okay? And there's this man who wrote this book, The Last President, that talks about this gentleman I'm talking about now. But this same man wrote Lacanians of Cult. If you like to read this. It will tell you who this man is, how he was created, or how he was engineered, if you know what I'm talking about. Eidolon. What is an eidolon? In ancient Greek literature, an eidolon is an image, idol, a double, an apparition, a phantom, a ghost. It's a spirit image of a living or dead person, a shade or phantom look-alike of the human form. And I think I just read somewhere here, hope I can get it quickly. Undead, yeah? The living dead. Okay, but I have this here to show you, and I'll show you again. Okay, in the next screen, we'll go through this eidolon. Okay, let me play this. Now, this I'm using Luya to explain some things. In Luya, Ndala means one. And you know, NDL are the letters because the vowels are interchangeable. But NDL is NDL, just rearranged, which means this man. I don't want to say the name. So when he says, I am the one, this is what he's tapping into. Okay, because Ndala means one, and this is his name, so he says, I am the one, okay? When he says, I don't know, okay? This sounds like eidolon, or eidolon, okay? So he's telling us what he is. This is the title of who he is, okay? This is going so fast, I hope it makes sense. In Luya, this, Ndolo, Tsindolo means to sleep or to dream. Again, we have the NDL, the DNL, like his name. And we have that commercial where he does with a sheep, counting sheep. So he's still trying to agitate that energy, this NDL energy, okay? By doing this commercial, because it ties him to that. So he's auditioning hard, okay? Luanda means rock in Luya, or land. You know, like we have Luanda, Angola, Rwanda. We have a place in Kenya called Luanda, Mluanda. And so land, so he's tied to real estate, you know, so he's still playing into this energy. He's auditioning, you know. And you know, he had that beef with this actor, Rock, ties into this. So it doesn't matter how the connection is made, he will try to do it. You may watch this again because I'm just going through so fast. What is this? Those are his hand signs. I'm just going to skip through that. This is the same thing. Okay, now this is how this ties to me again. I am trying to get a new car. And so I kind of, when I shop, I look at the specs or the specifications, you know, trying to build my own, like what I want. And just the car that I picked, what are the chances that these are the numbers? 450, so 45, he was the 45th. 416, I show that he was this date. I have shown how it links to him. He was born June the 14th. And then when you do the first and the last, that's the year he was born. And then 56, that's a very important number, and it ties Kenya in. What are the chances, you know? I just put this to show you guys, there to show you guys. Okay, this is according to the revelation I got. Like I said, it's set, but it's not final. They may change it. We can make them change it. We can mess up with the AI, the algorithm. But one is the last, one is the final. these two are in tandem. So either it's going to be two Americas, just so that these two can work in tandem. And as you can see, one is the final, one is the last. This is the last, this is the final. So this is has the final say, but this is the last. So we have the finalist or the finalist. FNLST, pay attention to those. So finalist or finalist, FNLST, Satan, STN. Lucifer, I know it's C, but it sounds like S. R is silent. Don't ask me why there's no R. LSF. Finalist. We have STN. This here in finalist, STN, and LSF. This. Okay. I went through so quickly. I hope it makes sense. This you'll have to go back and watch because I know I just flipped through quickly and you might have to do your own research. But he probably even know me because he probably has a lot of people reaching out to him. Okay. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this confers some real benefit to you. Please watch till the end. That's why I have the studies, stuff to do with for the parents, even just for adults, for parents and children. Okay. Thank you so much for watching again. Any comments, suggestions, questions are welcome. If this makes sense and resonates, please like, share, and subscribe. Remember, all is truth. There can only be truth. Anything else is a distraction. Do not be distracted. Thank you and see you in the next. Thank you, thank you, thank you. See you in the next. Thank you.